Oh, excuse me there. You have just caught me in the middle of reading one of my favorite Harry Potters, and the Deathly Hallows. We are joined today on live reality games. We cover everything from Big Brother type games to Survivor games to The Mole. And we're here talking with the newest live reality game to hit the scene and open casting right now, if I'm correct. And we'll get to that soon here with Bill. We're covering Big Brother Hogwarts. Bill, how are you this evening?
I'm doing really great. Thank you for having me on, Dustin.
And thanks for being here. I'm sorry, I left it out of the title. Headmaster Bill. My apologies.
That's okay. Yeah.
So Bill, tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience specifically with live reality games.
Yeah, well, my name is Bill. I am 33 years old from Chicago, Illinois, and I am a little inexperienced with live reality games. I did play a crazy, ridiculous, awesome, fun, emotional roller coaster of a game called Mayhem Manor, which took place last November, where 30-something idiots joined a house and we competed for power over a long weekend. And I made it pretty dang far. I was very, very impressed with myself, and I had a really, really good time. So once I played that, I had been wanting to play a live reality game for a while, but just with work and everything, it was crazy. But with me teaching online, like completely remote for a year, it's like the stars aligned, and I was finally able to hop on a plane, go somewhere. And I guess I started with the best of the best, some would say, with that game, and I got hooked. So now I want to host my own.
Absolutely. It's always an experience with live reality games, especially for the first time. You really catch that bug, per se, and you get really wrapped into the community, which is great for us and great to bring all these people together. Speaking of bringing people together, we have Sean doing a quick little shout out here. Icon Moment Legend. So,
Oh, thank you, Sean.
oh, and thank you in the comments too. Keep them coming. So if you have questions for this new live reality game, Big Brother Hogwarts, we want to hear from you. I'll try to cover everything I can, just in basics. However, even though you caught me reading Harry Potter earlier, I'm not quite up to date as probably some of you students are. So if you have questions, please let me know, and we'll definitely get to them. But Headmaster Bill, please tell us a little bit about the game per se.
Sure. Well, Big Brother Hogwarts is basically what the title says it is. It is a Harry Potter themed version of the CBS reality competition show we've all come to love, Big Brother, which is currently in its 23rd season, I believe, right now, and they're wrapping up week 1. Because it follows that format, we will cast 16 strangers and we will throw them into a house that will be, as much as I can, decorated like Hogwarts. I really felt that when I hosted this game online through Facebook and Zoom, I tried to make it as immersive as I possibly could. So the challenges were, you're attending potion class and you have to mix this particular drink, or you're in divinations class and you've got to predict what's going to happen next. So I really tried to theme the competition and the game like you are going to Hogwarts and you're attending classes, and it followed the plots of the books. So we had 7 seasons online, 1 season for each book, and the twist, expect the unexpected of it all, was related to like the core kind of twist or plot of that particular book. We just wrapped up season 7, which was conveniently titled Big Brother Hogwarts and the Deathly All-Stars. So we ended it, we put it to bed online, and now we are going live. So you'll compete in what we call HOH, and in Big Brother, that stands for Head of Household. But in Big Brother Hogwarts, we have it stand for Head of Hogwarts. From there, the HOH will nominate 2 students or players for expulsion or eviction. And then the 2 students nominated, the HOH, and 3 randomly drawn students will compete in what Big Brother calls POV, the power of prefect, but we call POV, the power of veto, but we call POP, power of prefect. The winner of the Power of Prefect has the responsibility or option to use their Power of Prefect and save one of the nominees from the chopping block, which would then force the head of Hogwarts to name somebody else in their place. Then the rest of the cast members vote, and one person is expelled from Hogwarts. So we're going to stick with that format since it is called Big Brother Hogwarts, but we are removing ourselves from the plot line of the books for the live version of the game, and we're diving deep into the wizarding world. So if I am lucky enough to host more than one season, every season will be related to Harry Potter in some way, but not necessarily have to do with any of the books or the characters, the plots associated with the movies. Maybe one season it'll be related to the Forbidden Forest. Maybe a season will be related to Diagon Alley. So things that are part of the lore of Harry Potter, but not necessarily the plot of Harry Potter.
That's the one I was hoping for, Diagon Alley. Like, I can see like a big drinking game involved with this as well in a season of maybe 21 and up only on that one.
Yeah.
We have some questions coming in. Frank, he's already in love with the concept. Frank was a contestant just on the most recent Real Foot, and we got to interview him. He wants to know, how do I play?
Hi, Frank. Well, congrats on doing Real Foot. That's a really great show. I know Amos and Co. does an amazing job putting that on, so that's awesome. You can play by applying, which we haven't announced, an application yet, but we are posting everything to our Facebook page, which is just Big Brother Hogwarts on Facebook. You can join the group. And Rita Skeeter actually is doing some daily profit gossip columns on Tuesdays, and she will announce everything that you need to know about the game. We also have a mailing list. We call it our Quibbler. So that is on our Facebook group page. You can join that by signing up with your email, and you'll get announcements, updates, applications before anybody else does. So applications are coming soon, but definitely join the Big Brother Hogwarts Facebook group to find out when and how and everything like that.
Absolutely. Great info there. And we'll have links and everything in the description after the podcast. So if you're watching now and kind of don't have the time to go through and fill something out, unlike Frank did, Frank just signed up. So Frank, best of luck to you. You were on top of the game here. Make sure to check those out in the comments later. Headmaster Bill, you mentioned you did this through online and like through Zoom, especially during like the quarantine times. What have you learned from that and looking forward to bringing into the live atmosphere?
So something that I learned from the 7 seasons that I hosted is people are really competitive when it comes to their Hogwarts house. There was a rivalry between Ravenclaws and Gryffindors and Slytherins. They were all kind of the student who wins the game. We say they win the house comp. So if they're sorted into Ravenclaw, then Ravenclaw wins the season, right? So right now, as we stand,
okay, as they should be. I'm already like rooting for my team. Whoever is a Hufflepuff, like I'm going to root for you the entire season.
So Hufflepuffs have not won a season of Big Brother Hogwarts. It's Ravenclaws are our
live game. Okay, we're waiting for live to actually bring it home. Okay.
So I learned that people really take their houses seriously, and they really do try to win to put their houses on the map. Especially, Ravenclaws wanted to keep that title, and they did. So that we had the most wins for our series that came out of House Ravenclaw. I also learned that unless people are gassing me up, which I hope that they're not, our challenges are really unique. And I got a lot of feedback about how appreciative the players were that we stuck with the narrative and the game kind of told a story, and the competitions were related to the classes or to the plot of the books. And they really kind of felt like, you were attending Hogwarts, or you were doing, I know holding a pen isn't holding a wand, but I tried to make it as creative and magical as I could, despite being at home with, no actual magical supplies. So I definitely want to carry that into the live game. Like I said before, I really want to make it immersive, and just kind of give you the feel that this is what it would be like to attend Hogwarts in a competitive, cutthroat quest for $300.
Well, I'm super excited. I was going to ask you what the main prize was, besides like Head of Hogwarts in general. Like that should be a big enough title for yourself. But you just announced $300 you're aiming to be the grand prize.
Mm-hmm. For now.
For now.
It might go up later. It well, definitely won't go down, but for now we're sitting at 300.
That's amazing. So what kind of locations are you looking for? I know we're still in progress of like settling down with everything going on, but what kind of areas of the country, or maybe in a different country, maybe London itself? No?
I would love that, but we are not going to be covering flights, so I don't want to make everybody go to London. Something that really stuck out to me in the little bit that I know about this community is a lot of the live reality games are coastal. So you've got things on the East Coast, a lot of things on the East Coast, and you got some stuff on the West Coast. And while I love the East Coast and I've started to dabble my feet into the West coastal areas, there really isn't a ton of things that are going on in the Midwest. And I know that the Midwest isn't as exciting as an Orlando, Florida, or a Los Angeles, California, or even like a Boston. But I do believe that the Midwest has some awesome things to discover. And I hold the Midwest near and dear to my heart. So while we don't have an official location, the 3 that we're looking at are absolutely going to be in the Midwest. So they'll be in an international airport area, up and coming, thriving city with multiple things to do for 21-year-olds, for non-21-year-olds. And we want to do it in the summer because, you know, the Midwest gets a little cold after August. So
I don't even want to start thinking about that. Being here in Michigan myself, I dread those days, Bill. I do.
Yeah.
Lydia is tuning in as well. Hey, Lydia. Thanks for joining. It looks like she was happy about Midwest choice. So, hey.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. That was another question. I mentioned Diagon Alley maybe being a season theme. Are we looking specifically in this series in the first iteration of being specifically 21 and up, or what's the age range you're looking for, Bill?
So you have to be 18 at least in order to apply and play. You don't have to just be 21. You cannot be 21. That's totally fine. So we're starting at 18 and there's no like age limit. There's going to be physical competitions, mental competitions, competitions that will test your relationship skills, building skills, your social skills. So as long as you're 18 and up, you can play.
Fantastic. Now, just a little bit of ideas for you. Like, how long is the game going to last? How many days?
So right now we're sitting on 2.5, maybe 2.25. So it's we'll get it all done in a weekend. I really liked that format. The games that I played were kind of a good weekend. I was toying with the idea of 3 to 4 days, but I just want to make sure that it's accessible to everybody. I know that some people aren't going to be able to take off work. Some people aren't going to be able to take off school. Some people have kids and, you know, their spouse can't watch the kids for more than 3 days, 4 days, what have you. People got pets. So I do think that like a nice weekend to get away is doable. Which means the pace is going to be a little quick, but there's things that we're kind of working out to make it flow better so that people aren't overwhelmed or super stressed about how quickly it moves. But it definitely won't be longer than a weekend.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think really a lot of people are looking for those games in general too, based on their schedule, kind of like what you were saying. You know, they plan the big like family vacations for like the week getaway to like a Disney World or something like that. And this is maybe a great time for like a little break themselves. They can have the weekend, play a super fun game, meet some really nice people, and then go on from there. What are your plans for like filming per se? Are we looking at making episodes, live streaming, or just an in-person event?
Listen, I love a good dramatic storyline. I love editing crazy theme songs and everything like that, but I ain't trying to shoot myself in the foot here. We are going to have a sorcerer of social media on production, and this person is going to be live streaming the entire game. So as long as you join the Facebook group or subscribe to our YouTube channel, which I think it's just Big Brother Hogwarts. I'm not really sure. I only have one video up there. We're still very, very new. But we're going to live stream everything. So obviously you won't get the confessional aspect and stuff like that. But I'd rather put my time and effort into curating a unique experience and provide people with an interesting opportunity then try to figure out how I'm going to make episodes and keep everything secret. Like, I know that people want to play, but I also know that people want to watch and they don't want to wait for episodes to come out. So as much as I'd love to tell a serial story, we are just going to go live on our pages and show everything in real time as it's happening.
That would be amazing. We've seen a lot of success and a lot of fans tuning in just for that. Even if you know one person on the cast, you're going to like somebody else, and then from there, they're going to work with somebody else. So eventually, you're rooting for the whole house itself, I'm assuming, from this game. Frank is liking all the names you have for your competitions and your awards and everything. So it sounds like Frank is a more of a Potterhead than I am. I believe it's the correct term, right?
Yeah,
okay. I was like, I'm trying here, folks. I'm trying, like I said. What other references do you have the books that you bring into this game?
Like, what have I done or what am I planning?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, do you have any special powers, any spells people can learn and maybe have an advantage?
Well, I don't want to give too much away about what season 1 is going to have in store, but in the past, we've had twists that involved unbreakable vows. We've had powers that involved spells that people thought that they'd be really good at. We've had the Horcruxes kind of come in and the Deathly Hallows shake up the way that the game is played. We've had hippogriffs, we've had house elves, we've had Sorcerer's Stone. Oh gosh, that Sorcerer's Stone twist. I don't know if people will ever forgive me for that one. But yeah, we've done everything from breaking out of Azkaban to playing Quidditch. I mean, it's on the online game, it was all covered. But for the live game, we're really trying to, the Horcruxes might come in here and there, but we really want to pull it away from the books, especially because the more and more I age, the more and more I realize that the people that are younger than me have not read the books or watched the movies. I asked my students on the first day of class, how many of you have seen Harry Potter? And I get like 2 hands out of a class of 30, which is insane to me. But it's becoming increasingly clear that people know about Harry Potter. They just haven't read Harry Potter. So I want to have an experience for everyone, whether you're a Harry Potter fan or not, that's not related to knowing anything about Harry Potter. You could play this game if you've read a book, if you've seen a movie, or neither. It's never going to be Harry Potter trivia. It's never going to be costume contests. All of that is fun. And obviously, the more knowledge you have about the series, the more fun or immersive it might feel. But we don't want to stick with the books this time around. So we want to do cool, interesting things that hopefully have never been done before, but also kind of give the nod to the story and do it justice and provide the fans with, that interesting take on something that they've grown up with loving.
Absolutely. That was kind of like my next question. So having read mid-range kind of books, I've seen some of the movies, some I know all of the characters' names, or at least I try to at least. So as not a huge Harry Potter fan, I wouldn't feel pressured in this, right? To know everything about Harry Potter, correct?
I think so. I think maybe, night 1 or round 1 might be a little, what are these names and why is it like this? But I feel like as the game progresses, you realize that it's less about Harry Potter and more about playing the game of Big Brother. So if you like the game of Big Brother, if you're a competitive person and you want to push yourself physically, mentally, socially, you really don't have to know anything about Harry Potter. It's just going to be decorated like Harry Potter, and we'll play Harry Potter music and stuff like that. And we'll use some character names and have some references from the books and the movies, but you don't have to know a single thing about Harry Potter in order to play and in order to succeed either. A lot of the people that have done really well in the online version of the game have never seen the movies or maybe read a book or two. So.
And it looks like Lydia's still with us too. She's socially though. Yes, it sounds like the whole game is going to be social. Typically with a typical Big Brother game, of course, a little bit of competition based, but a lot of social skills. Yeah. For the people that are tuning in now, a little bit halfway through the podcast here, we are here with Headmaster Bill. We are going over Big Brother Hogwarts, a new live reality game in the series, and especially focusing on the Big Brother aspect. hopefully bring this game to the Midwest. Now, time frame wise, you mentioned the summer. Do you have like some specific, is it going to be like a May, kind of early summer? I guess that'd be more spring, or maybe like a July or August.
Well, for anybody that knows me and has been following the series, you may have realized that I have an obsession with sevens. There are 7 Harry Potter books. There are 7 Horcruxes. There are Harry Potter's birthdays in the 7th month. Lots of 7 things going on. So if I had to take a guess on what month in 2022 the game would take place, I would start there.
Fantastic. I love the mystery already. I think I know the answer, but folks, I won't spoil it. Okay, so 7, 7, 7, something, some kind of month that maybe starts with a 7 or ends with a 7. I'm not quite sure. So we'll have to get back to that, I think. So, Bill, once again, for people tuning in, where can people find out about this? And you said something about sign up for like a newsletter that has all the up-to-date information.
Yeah, so currently right now, our biggest platform is just our Facebook group. It started as an online reality game kind of right before the pandemic hit-ish. Maybe not right before, but the year before. And then during the pandemic is when it, I feel like, really kind of took off, when people were looking for things to do to pass their time. So we've kind of built the Facebook group up. There's not as many people in the Facebook group that I would love, but we have a good solid number. So we're kind of doing everything there. That is just Big Brother Hogwarts. It's a Facebook group. You can find it, add yourself to it. We'll obviously, approve your entry. And everything that you need to know is there. There's lots of moving parts to the page. I mean, we hosted 7 seasons of our online game right there. So you might see some old posts resurface as people comment on things. But we have our teaser that kind of hints at what the theme for season 1 up there. And we've got our Quibbler that you can sign up for by just signing up with your email. And if you sign up for our Big Brother Hogwarts Quibbler, then you'll be the first to hear about any news updates. You'll be the first to receive the applications, the first to know the actual date, the first to know where the house is going to be. So we'll do everything to our Quibbler subscribers first, and then Rita Skeeter will come on her famous Tuesdays Skeeter. What did she call it? Skeeter's Scoop or something like that.
Skeeter's Scoop. I'm looking at the page right now. So
yeah. So then she'll announce everything the week after.
Now I see she did an announcement recently. You're looking for a logo contest. Is that still going on?
Yes. I mean, I am a man of many talents, but making graphic content is not one of them. I have a easy peasy click and drag website that I use for everything. So I am absolutely looking for a graphics guru. We are going to hopefully have a contest, and the winning graphic logo will receive a gift card to the Muggle store of their choice. So I would love for anybody to put their hands in the cauldron and create a graphic with us. You have complete creative control. I don't care what it looks like. I would love for it to be related to Big Brother and Hogwarts in some way. That's why I kind of just threw the little logo that we have up there now. But I would love for it to look prettier. And even if you win the graphic contest, you are still eligible to play. It doesn't mean that you'll be on prod or whatever. So if you're worried about creating the graphic and then not being cast for the game of the graphic that you created, we're not worried about that at all. So if making pictures and editing images is your forte, please, I want a cool graphic. Have fun with it. PM me on Facebook or DM me on Instagram, and we'll get you everything you need to know about that.
Fantastic. It sounds super fun. Honestly, I'm not the creative type as well, so I usually throw up the little banners every so often. So if you find someone, Bill, let me know. I might be interested as well, okay?
I will, for sure.
Generally speaking, so besides Big Brother Hogwarts, what do you keep up with in terms of either live reality games? Are you watching any show right now, or even in the reality show world?
I sort of follow along with things. So I kind of kept my eye on the previous season of Reelfoot. I've been kind of following along with, I think it was, Survivor Challenge or Survival Challenge or whatever just ended. I knew some people in that. I think it's really important that as a community we support each other. So I've been trying to kind of keep up with the casting, and every so often Mayhem will announce a new player. So I know Ascendance Live just ended, and I got to shout out Nicole, Papa, and Slade. Thank you for plugging us the last time you were here. I played in what I feel was the best season of Ascendance in the ORG. I can't remember what season it was, 7 or 9. I was the Great Gatsby Roaring 20s season. I think that we very shadily lost the poll on their Facebook page about what the best season is, but that is a discussion for another day. I know that they hosted an amazing game. I cannot wait to see the episodes, so I'm definitely going to be watching that. But other than that, I kind of just keep my eye on what orgs are casting and who's casting what. I know Clark and Heather and Matt are going to be doing a socialite game, murder something. I can't remember what it's called. But that's really exciting. I know that the Mole is casting. Which one?
The Root of All Evil.
Yes, the Root of All Evil. That I think had been casting for a while. I know that the Mole season 2 is casting shortly if they didn't start casting yet. So I kind of like got my eye on what everyone's doing, and
you were doing a great job plugging everything. Like you were subscribed to our Facebook page. Like fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's important, especially because, as much as I love seeing familiar faces, I love my friends, and I love that they love playing these games. It's difficult playing the same game with the same people over and over. I mean, we're all turning into real world road rules challenge here, where pretty soon we're all going to be 40 years old playing the same damn game, and we're all going to hate each other by the end of this thing. So I think it's important that we support everybody, that we promote everybody, that we bring new people to the community, show them what games we think they might be good at, even if it's not my own. So let me know, and I'll be helping you to point you in the right direction, even if it's not towards the Castle of Hogwarts.
Now, you're busy teaching during the school year. You're busy running all over the country, as I see on your Facebook, visiting friends all over the place during the summers. And of course, you have this big game going on. Would you ever be interested in doing another game yourself besides like a Mayhem Manor? Would you ever put yourself out in the woods, or maybe do something a little bit more mole-ish, anything like that?
I am very open to the idea of competing again. Mayhem Manor took a lot out of me. I was not expecting how emotionally invested not only myself, but everyone was going to be. It really kind of put things into place for me. Here I am walking around talking this big talk, thinking that I would just dominate on Big Brother, the real show. And then like the minute I meet someone who's amazing, I can't like backstab them or lie to their faces. I just don't have the heart for that. I feel like I'm a Slitherpuff. Like I'm definitely a Slytherin in the way that my ego and my personality is, but I'm like diehard loyal to my friends, and I care about people and the human experience so much. And that was really, really hard to vote my friends in and see people that I loved playing this game with get eliminated. So I'm still a little, I don't know if I could do that again yet, but man, I really want to know if I can survive 10 days in the woods. I'm like the gayest thing on the planet that I've ever met, and I just don't know if I could sleep on a pile of leaves for 5 days, but I definitely want to figure that out. So if anybody's casting a Survivor game and wants a cool, hot, young stud to join their cast, I'm looking.
You can also visit Live Reality Games Casting,
yes.
Casting on Facebook to check out anything casting. What was I going to say? Oh, Bill, I remember doing your cast assessment too for Mayhem. I'm sure it was other people. And you were with like 4 other guys, and some guys were drinking beer. I was like, oh, this is the bros. And everyone's like, Bill's not a bro on this one. So yeah. I've never met you, but that was just what I was going off from a picture. So.
Oh, that cast assessment, man. Y'all screwed us.
You still made it really far, and we kept it hopefully fun, and we really wanted to support everybody in general. So
it was fun to watch.
But still, besides that, Bill, it's been fantastic talking this evening. We are just wrapping up with Big Brother Hogwarts, new live reality game. Bill, one last time, where do we find out about it?
Sure. Go ahead and go to our Facebook group page, Big Brother Hogwarts. It's just on Facebook. Once you join it, we'll approve your status. And feel free to private message me on Facebook. You can direct message me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Mr. Bill Lucio, Luc as in cat, IO as in Oscar. And I'm kind of promoting the show everywhere. So on my personal Facebook, on my Instagram stories, obviously in our Facebook group. Bring your friends to the group. If they play orgs, if they play live reality games, if they love
Or
Harry
if they play Quidditch, right?
Yeah, or if they play Quidditch. Quidditch has shown up in every single season of our online version of the game. I can't imagine it won't make an appearance in the live version too. So if you know any seekers or beaters or keepers or chasers, bring them on over to our group, Big Brother Hogwarts on Facebook.
Well, the Quidditch player that comes to my mind, she played as the Quester, CJ, one of my favorites in that series. She put on her caps that she was a Quidditch player. That was like her title, her
love that.
or whatever you call it.
Well, come on in, CJ.
It's been a pleasure chatting tonight. Thank you for the comments of Lydia, Frank, and everyone. Sean was here earlier. But anyone, for more information, like Bill says, go over to the Facebook page and make sure you check out facebook.com/live-reality-games or over on our YouTube channel /live-reality-games for the same information. We'll keep you up to date with all the live reality games happening. Once again, my name is Dustin. Bill, thanks for joining us. And everyone, have a great day. I was going to say something like a spell, or can we have a spell to send us off with, Bill?
I mean, let's just Avada Kedavra it.
All right.
All right. Later, everybody. Avada Kedavra.